This is Reese, Sean, Jacob, Emily. So, what do you think of when you hear America's team? Well, if you didn't know, football is the most watched sport in America, and only because it's by far the most entertaining. The National Football League, or the NFL, earns the most amount of money out of all sports organizations in the world. There are 32 total teams in the NFL, and the Dallas Cowboys are one of those teams. I love this team with all my heart ever since I can remember. This football franchise is worth the most amount of money of all sports teams in the world at $5 billion. So today, I will tell you about one of the greatest sports teams on the planet and how successful they've been. After my speech, even if you're not a fan of the Cowboys, you'll learn why they're considered one of the greatest football franchises of all time. So, the operation of any team is usually run by the head coach. They're the ones who instruct you on what to do in games and how to react to the opposing team. The Cowboys have had a total of 8 coaches over the span of 60 seasons, and some of them have made a huge impact on this franchise. Tom Landry was the first coach of the Cowboys and was the longest serving coach that the team has had, serving 28 total years. He's one of the best coaches of all time and has 2 rings to prove it. Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer followed Landry for a combined 7 years, earning them 3 more Super Bowl wins. Chan Gailey, Dave Campo, Bill Parcells, Wade Phillips, and Jason Garrett have been the coaches following Barry Switzer, and the team hasn't appeared to another Super Bowl in the last 25 years. Speaking of Super Bowls, let's discuss how they've done in their past appearances. The Cowboys have been lucky enough to appear in 8 Super Bowls, but unfortunately have only been able to win 5 of them. The Cowboys' first appearance to the Super Bowl was January 17, 1971, when they played the Baltimore Colts. They only lost by 3 points with a score of 16-13, but it was a good showing for their first time. The very next year, they showed up again and annihilated the Dolphins with a score of 24-3. The Cowboys made an appearance in 1976 and 1979, losing to the Steelers both times, but beat the Broncos in 1978, 27-10. Cowboys showed up back-to-back years against the Buffalo Bills in 1993 and 1994, and beat them by more than 15 points both times. In the last Super Bowl in 1996, they showed up and showed out to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 27-17. Now that we learned about when they went to the Super Bowl, let's see the players who made the most impact on the franchise. In order to have a successful team, you also need to have the best players with the most amount of talent than anyone else in the game. We'll only go over some of the players that made the most impact and what they did while they were playing for America's team. Bob Lilly is the 2-time All-American that went to TCU and was the first player drafted by the Cowboys and the team's first inductee into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He anchored the famous Doomsday Defense and helped the Cowboys win Super Bowl VI. Roger Staubach, the 6-time Pro Bowler, earned the nickname Captain Comeback for helping the Cowboys overcome fourth quarter deficits 23 times. He led Dallas to 7 division titles and 2 Super Bowl victories. Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith retired as the NFL's all-time rushing leader with 18,355 yards and scored more rushing touchdowns than any other player in NFL history. Smith was elected into the Pro Bowl 8 times, won 4 NFL rushing titles, and 3 Super Bowl titles. Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin helped lead the Cowboys to 6 division titles and 3 Super Bowls before a spinal injury cut his playing career short. Irvin was the team's top receiver for 8 consecutive seasons and retired as the Cowboys' all-time leader in receptions, receiving yards, playoff receptions, and playoff receiving yards. So, in conclusion, the Dallas Cowboys as we've seen, have been very successful since they were established in 1960. They've had many championships under their belt, successful coaches, and many players to go to the Hall of Fame. Being worth $5 billion and having the largest fan base in the NFL, we can now see why they are called America's team. Any questions? Thank you for watching.